I'm in one of my moods again. One of those moods where I become obsessed with a certain thing and it inspires me to make artwork. Well, right now I'm being inspired by Spyro. Spyro is my #1 favorite video game character. I love dragons, and I love purple dragons. And if there's one kind of dragon that I absolutely love, it's dragons with personality. And I mean like dragons with human intelligence. Dragons that speak, dragons that think like people, dragons that basically are characters. The reason why I fell in love with Spyro is because he is no ordinary. Sorry. He is no ordinary dragon video game character. He is a dragon video game character that you can play as. I mean, let's be real here. How many video games are out there where you get to play as a dragon? I don't really think there are that many. In fact, I really don't think there are that many stories in general where you have dragons that have human intelligence, where they're basically the stars of the shows. The only other more popular one that I know about besides Spyro is Wings of Fire, which I am also a really big fan of. I bought many of the audiobooks. I only need one more of the first series to complete it. But back to Spyro. I first started playing Spyro on the GameCube when I played A Hero's Tale. But that was not when I started to fall in love with Spyro. No. What really got me into Spyro was the Legend of Spyro series, and how I came across discovering that series. There's actually a funny story behind it. You see, for Christmas there was a game that I wanted. Knights. That was a Sega game. I don't know if you guys heard about it before, but I guess it's kind of hard to describe. All I could say was that it seemed a lot like a Sonic game, but different, more fantasy based. And what a surprise! In one Christmas package, I found myself The Legend of Spyro, The Eternal Night. It's something I didn't even ask for. My mom had gotten me that game by mistake. She thought that that's the game that I wanted. Now, when I first started playing it, I didn't really get into it. It took me about a whole year to finally realize just how epic the game was. I was sold on the Eternal Night. I thought it was a fantastic game with an amazing story, great characters, and the lore was so fascinating. The fact that being a purple dragon was such a big deal, I found it so cool. So yeah, isn't that incredible? I discovered the Legend of Spyro series by accident. And since then, the Legend of Spyro series has been one of the top, most major sources of inspiration for nearly all of my stories, especially my Lore Star stories. Sometimes I can't help but feel that it was destiny or something. Like, like destiny wanted me to discover the Legend of Spyro series. It truly does have a Lord of the Rings feel to it. In more ways than one. I mean, come on. The guy who plays as Spyro in that series is none other than Elijah Wood, the star of Lord of the Rings. But yeah, the Legend of Spyro series has such an incredible story with so much potential for all kinds of lore, so much history, and so much amazing. It's just amazing. Yeah. To be a purple dragon is to be the most incredibly powerful of creatures. To be a purple dragon is to be beyond any kind of dragon in existence. That's what it means to be a purple dragon. That's how it is in the Legend of Spyro. Yeah. In fact, the Legend of Spyro is so amazing. It has so much potential for lore and inspires people so much that you would not believe how much fan comics and fan lore is made of that series. On DeviantArt, there are so many artists who have so much dedication to making fan stories, fan characters, fan lore of the Legend of Spyro series that you would be so surprised that only 3 games, each one having about an hour's worth of cutscenes, would inspire such incredible stories, characters, and hard work in general. And that includes me. I have made so many Legend of Spyro fan characters, so many dragon characters in Maya, and I am so proud of them. I even went so far as to making fully rigged 3D models of some of my favorite Legend of Spyro fan characters, because those fan characters too have inspired me so much. Yeah. I really do hope that someday they will either make a remake of the Legend of Spyro series or a continuation of the story. That would be really cool because, to be honest, I think I could actually come up with a great idea for the continuation of a Legend of Spyro series, and it will not be a small game. It will not just have an hour's worth of cutscenes, no. It will be a huge game with a really long story. Hours and hours and hours worth of cutscenes. Also, the potential to view the story from multiple perspectives based on characters that you can play as, like Spyro, Cinder, and other characters. But really, For me, personally, the kind of story that I would prefer is one that centers around my particular characters. I call their story Dragon Destinies, and they take place in the Legend of Spyro world. However, their story takes place several centuries after Spyro saves the world, and he has since passed on from old age since then. And since then, a new purple dragon has been born, but as yet to unleash her true powers as a hero. But she's not the main protagonist, no. Yeah, well, maybe I went a little too much detail into that. I'll move on. I was so excited about the Reignited trilogy. It was the most beautiful game remake I have ever seen in my life. All three of the original Spyro games from the original PlayStation days, remade in all its modern 2020 age glory. It was so amazing. I absolutely loved playing it. Everything was remade to such an amazing degree. It was so beautifully done. It's a whole new game, but at the same time, it's the same games. Yes, perfect for anybody who grew up playing Spyro. Yeah, so enjoyable. Someday I hope my characters can be that enjoyable. I still have to find a company that would be willing to make my stories reality, because sharing an entire universe of stories to the degree that I want to is not something I can do on my own. I honestly haven't had much luck in selling my books and sharing my work with others. See, my biggest dream is not merely to share my creativity with the world. My biggest dream is that people will love my stories and characters so much that they'll make artwork of them. That's my biggest dream. It's the biggest fantasy of all, that people love my stories and characters so much that you'd be able to find artwork of them everywhere on the internet. Fantastic artists drawing my characters. Oh, that would be such a dream come true. I'm really hoping it'll happen someday. But for now, I'm just enjoying working on my creative work the best ways I know how. I'm still searching for a job at a company that could possibly help my dreams become reality, to help me share my creativity with the world in the greatest way possible. Hopefully, Spyro will continue to inspire me. I'm sure he will. He's my favorite video game character. Little purple dragon of legend. Yeah.